Welcome to the 9th episode of the A to Z Legal Services podcast, with useful, clear, and purpose-driven information.
So picture this. A main water pipe bursts in your kitchen. Water is just flooding everywhere. You don't usually head over to YouTube to figure out how to solder copper tubing.
Right. You'd call a professional plumber immediately.
Yeah, exactly. But a simple leaky faucet, you might just grab a wrench and try to fix it yourself.
Right, because the stakes are a lot lower.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into some California family law guidelines and field notes from the team at A to Z Legal Services. And we're tackling a question that's basically the legal version of that plumbing dilemma.
Do you need a lawyer for a California divorce? Or can you just do it yourself?
Right. That's our mission today, to just map out every option you have, from total self-representation all the way to, bringing in full legal support.
And, in California, self-representation is actually incredibly common. The system is explicitly set up to allow it.
But doing it yourself, like DIYing a divorce, it has to be more than just signing a piece of paper, right?
Well, absolutely. Surviving the process without an attorney, it really hinges on how much your ex is willing to cooperate. Plus, the complexity of your assets and your own tolerance for risk.
Because you're suddenly responsible for tracking down all the right forms, hitting these strict court deadlines, swapping massive financial disclosures.
Yeah, you're acting as your own legal advocate.
Uh-huh.
And it's a system built on really unforgiving rules.
Yeah.
If you miss a deadline or misfile a form, the court doesn't just...
They don't give you a pass just because you aren't a lawyer?
Exactly. They treat you like you should know the rules.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask about the part where I'd probably mess up. Serving the papers. It's 2026. Can't I just, DocuSign a PDF to my spouse or just text them the forms?
No, definitely not.
Wait, really? Why is the court so analog about this?
Well, the court requires a neutral third party, so another adult, to physically hand over those papers. And then you have to file a formal proof of service.
Oh, wow. So you can't just do it yourself.
Right. The whole mechanism is designed to prevent intimidation. Or, one spouse just lying to the judge and claiming they handed over the documents when they actually threw them in the trash.
That makes sense. But if I mess that up...
Mistakes there literally force you to start the entire procedural clock over.
Jeez. Okay, so if the filing process is that rigid, someone who's overwhelmed but maybe can't afford a full-time lawyer might feel totally stuck.
Yeah. Every county in California does have free self-help centers and a family law facilitator.
But there has to be a catch, right? With the free government service.
Well, those clinics are excellent for reviewing your forms, making sure the boxes are checked correctly. But they cannot give you personalized strategic advice.
Right.
They can't look at your retirement account and say, oh, here's the smartest way to divide this based on your life goals.
Wait, and there is a massive trap here too, isn't there? Because if I use a free court clinic to ask about my strategy...
Your spouse could walk into that exact same clinic the very next day.
Because none of what I say in there is confidential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anything you say at a self-help center is basically public knowledge. It's a fundamental difference from the protected private consultation you get with your own attorney.
Wow. Okay, so if free help isn't confidential and a full-time lawyer costs thousands of dollars, that leaves this massive gap for normal people.
It does. And that's where unbundled services come in.
Unbundled services. That's like limited scope representation.
Yeah. You essentially hire a lawyer a la carte. So you handle the bulk of the case yourself, but you pay a professional for one specific task.
Like having them review a final property agreement.
Right. Or coaching you for a single tricky hearing. It bridges the gap perfectly for people who just need a safety check.
And if you and your ex are actually cooperating, there are even simpler paths, right?
Oh, definitely. There's summary dissolution for short marriages with no kids or property. Plus, there's the new 2026 rule that allows couples to file a joint petition right from the start.
Which is huge. That joint petition rule actually shifts the whole dynamic.
It really does. Instead of one person officially suing the other for divorce...
Which immediately puts everyone on the defensive.
Exactly. You approach the court from day one as a unified team. It removes the adversarial starting line entirely.
But to use any of those streamlined options, you need total transparency and, zero conflict.
Right.
Which means the moment you add a bitter custody battle or, say, a hidden cryptocurrency wallet into the mix...
DIY becomes completely impossible.
Those are the burst pipes.
Those are the burst pipes. Once you see red flags like domestic violence, threats, severe financial control, or, an opposing lawyer who is already hired, your priority has to shift from saving money to sheer protection.
Yeah, I mean, trying to handle a massive power or information imbalance alone, it's like trying to negotiate a complex business deal while the other side only lets you read half the contract.
You're flying blind. Matching your level of legal support to your actual level of case risk is really the only way to protect your future.
That is so true. And I want to leave you with this to mull over as we wrap up this deep dive. We constantly assume the best divorce is the fastest or the cheapest one to file.
Yeah, people always want it done yesterday.
Exactly. But maybe the most successful divorce is actually the one that leaves you with the fewest long-term problems to clean up a decade from now. I mean, don't leave a slow leak in your walls just to save a few bucks today.
Because sometimes the cheapest option ends up costing the most down the line.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget that at the end of this episode, we'll share our contact information so you can get additional paralegal guidance. You can call us at 626-510-3339. Email us at info@azlegal.us. Visit us at www.azlegal.us. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram under our verified profiles as A to Z Legal Services.